Welcome to day 262 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian, and we have a special guest with us today. Her name is Matreshka. Everybody knows
Hi.
Matreshka.
Good to be here, guys.
Good to have you.
Yeah, this is the first time you've been on the show, but you're really like the unofficial DeSo community manager.
Well,
If you're
it's
listening
I,
at
I
her, you
love
might
that
want
you
to hire
mentioned that
her.
because I actually did apply for the DeSo community manager position on DeSo. So,
Well, there you go. I mean, you should be hired immediately.
There you go. So
well, we'll
these
see.
videos are sponsored by no one. We don't have
Matreshka,
a
it's
sponsor.
sponsored by Matreshka today since we don't have a sponsor. Um,
Awesome.
so yeah, we got our sponsorship for Cloudcox ran out yesterday. So we just listed a new auction for the next 2 weeks sponsorship. So if you want to sponsor these videos, check out the post immediately under this video post, and you'll see it's an auction. It's going to end at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. If there's a bid in the final 5 minutes, it will be extended by 5 minutes, and that's it. So the latest it's going to end is 12:35 p.m. tomorrow. So bid if you're interested. If not, then oh well, it doesn't matter.
I want to ask you, Matreshka, how did the meetup go in San Francisco? It looked like you had a lot of fun. Before we get into the news, I was just wondering, could you give us a recap of what took place in
Of
San Francisco?
course, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. And actually, if I do look tired, I just traveled back and didn't sleep yet. So that's why. But it was a lot of fun. My first discovery and the biggest person discovery was Doodles, who has such an amazing energy. And watching him perform in karaoke with Cassius Cuvert, it was like the energetic duo. I loved it to bits. And their song that has a curse word, so I'm not going to say it, but it's on blockchain, so you can find it in the post, was just making us tear us to pieces. We were laughing so hard. That was amazing. The first night we had karaoke, and then the second night we were doing sightseeing, and then we met a random person in the line waiting for lunch. Darian met her, who is doing Diamond DAO, and she spent the entire day with us and the next 2 days, and she's going to be joining the platform now and going to Vegas to the wedding with us.
Oh, nice.
So that was also very, very, very cool, onboarding live people that you meet in real life. And then of course the dinner where we got to meet everybody who came in. There were like, I think, like 17 people who showed up, including Art and his wife, who I spent most of the night talking, and it was absolutely fantastic. And Luca Wilfred, who finally made it over from Europe, who is the only person who made it into European meetup and to one here. So that was a lot of fun, and it was amazing meeting with people. And it just, when so many awesome people come together, ideas start flying off and like gets created right there on the spot. And it was just amazing energy and amazing time.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Brian and I wish we could have made it just a little far for us to travel around the holiday times, but definitely next time. And it's like it's been New York was the last meetup we went to, and we're really looking forward to doing another one sometime soon. So keep us updated. I know you're at every single meetup. I think you can do
Yes,
everyone except the European one.
yes, all the US ones I have been to. Yet.
That's amazing. So let's get to some news. Yesterday, Lane Digital Art, he was on our show a few weeks ago. He sold the CryptoDroids coin that he owned. And of course, CryptoDroids is his NFT project, a very cool NFT project. And there's not really too much information about what happened yet. He made a post saying that he's going to explain everything on Clubhouse. So there's going to be a Clubhouse room at some point. And he also, with the CryptoDroids account, has it in the profile, it says moving to OpenSea. So I don't know, maybe he's just moving the project to OpenSea, thinks it's going to do better over there. There are some people who are disappointed that owned his coin, and he sold it and kind of, was semi-rug pullish, I guess you could say, because people lost money. But, as an NFT artist, I think he has the right to kind of do what he thinks is best for his project.
Yeah, I mean, we owned some of his coin. We lost some money in it, provided that nothing changes from here on out. But I mean, it's just something you have to expect, I think. sure, he could have just held his own coin, not sold it, and moved the project to OpenSea, I guess. I think we need more information before we jump to conclusions. I also think that the community needs to understand that everybody has different like initiatives. Everybody has different plans. You can't hold every move against everybody, and you just gotta expect, hey, this person owns this much of their coin, they could sell it.
Well, to be
we own like
fair, to be fair, I think in November he put like $2,400 into his own coin to buy it,
Yeah,
and when he sold, he ended up taking a loss. So it's
Yeah,
not like
so-
he's making off with money here. He actually lost as well.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, I think you just got to hear him out and hear what he has to say. He was an asset to the community for sure. So
He still is. I mean, we
Yeah.
can't just assume he's vanishing.
Right.
We haven't talked to Lane yet, so I look forward to hearing what he has to say, and best of luck to everything he does, because he's a great artist and a great person. You got to meet him in Tampa, right, Matreshka?
yes, and spend time with him. And I think he's coming to Las Vegas as well unless he changes his plan. And he's an absolutely amazing artist, and I love his work. So I'm looking forward to learning what he's planning to do and what's happening. But yeah, also wishing him the best of luck and everything.
You keep mentioning Vegas. I'm assuming you're talking about Clay Perry and Wendy Lee's wedding, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and the DeSo communities invited not to the wedding, but to the party afterwards, correct?
Yes, I think that's the plan for now.
And
Yeah.
I think it's January 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, on Saturday, and also there is a word on the street that Fast Freddy is making his way down there. So that would probably be the first meetup where a core team member would be there, and we would hopefully know who that is if he will decide to show us.
I just wonder if he's going to drive a Lamborghini there or not.
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah,
And what
so-
color it's gonna be, since we didn't have one in picture for him, so I had to create one.
Yeah, so best of luck to Lane. Great person, great artist. I'm sure he's going to be successful over on OpenSea. Some artists I feel like are better suited for OpenSea. Some are better suited for DeSo. I think a lot of people really made a name for themselves here on DeSo that wouldn't have been able to make a name for themselves on OpenSea. But Lane's been big on OpenSea and other platforms in the past before coming over to DeSo. So I think everybody's situation is a little different. But let's move on. Medizins by Meredith Marcone. There, you can now mint those on their website. I believe it's mint.medizins.com. I hope I'm getting that right. I'm going to double check that. But her art's awesome too. She's somebody who came over from another platform and has been successful here on DeSo. The website's mint.medizinsnft.com. And the profile that they're being minted to isn't Medizins. It's the art collective. So if you go to the DeSo account, the art collective, you can see all the NFTs. Also, if you go to medizinsnft.com, you can see them. And they do have traits. So if you go to the artcollective.nftz.zone, you'll be able to sort them by traits as well.
Yeah, Meredith's super talented. I got a chance to speak to her in Clubhouse a couple days ago. And that's like somebody that was popular on OpenSea and came over here and is pretty much just as popular. So like, way to go, Meredith. I'm happy to see you here. I hope you stick around. And I think if you do, you'll find it beneficial.
Yeah, I minted my first Medizins this morning. And it was a really cool one. So I'm happy with it. I think her project's gonna be very successful. There can be 500 Medizins minted. And when you mint one, you become part of the Art Collective DAO, which is really cool. So you're going to get voting in the Art Collective DAO, and you're going to be part of that DAO, decide what NFTs that DAO buys, what artwork that NFT buys. Have you had a chance to mint any yet, Matreshka?
No, but I'm looking forward to doing it this morning. I was just looking at it before we were talking to you, and yeah, I was going to do it after the show.
Yeah, it's a really cool project. So another thing that happened yesterday, the DeSo account, there's an official DeSo account on DeSo now, just at DeSo, bought their own coin. They bought 46.41 of their own creator coin.
$9,500.
Yeah, for $9,500. But their founder reward remains at 100%.
Yeah, and I think they probably did this partially because their posts were kind of not being seen because they were such a low dollar value, and this kind of helps them boost up to the top maybe and get more attention. So I'm following them. I know that you can set alerts so that you can kind of follow them as well. I know M. Van Halen did something on Check BitClout so that you can follow them and get alerted. I mean, anybody can, and that's important because they might be announcing something big.
Yeah, for sure. And finally, Gringit, the Gringit bot, bought 1.1 million, or I mean, gave out 1.1 million in DeSo, meaning people bought 1.1 million in DeSo yesterday in the last 24 hours, which is a pretty large amount.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some pretty busy days over the course of the last few months, but I think like the last week or so, like we weren't seeing too many big buys, and then suddenly it started, I think, mid-weekend, and then picked up Sunday, and then this morning, a lot of large buys. So maybe some people are expecting some interesting news later this week. I don't know. Maybe it's just people trying to load up because the price dipped a little bit. So we'll see. And I think it's a good sign for sure.
Yeah, so let's get to you, Matreshka. You have an NFT project that is dropping on Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I believe.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
it's called Nesting Dolls. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, how you came up with the name and what the project's going to encompass?
sure, absolutely. So nesting doll, Matryoshka, the word Matryoshka in Russian means a nesting doll, which not everybody knows. So thank you, Cleo Oglesby, for making me aware that everybody knows what the word Matryoshka means. And the project is going to be the images of a nesting dolls. The first Genesis drop is going to be the hand-drawn 77 pieces that I have created by hand. And then there's going to be a second part that's going to be generative that I'm working with Smart Alec on right now in creating that. It's going to take some time to do that. So on this Saturday, we're going to drop the original hand drawn one, and we're going to open the coin. People will get a chance to actually participate and get a chance to win the nesting doll and some of the coin after we open it. So that's going to be very exciting. And everybody holding the original one will be whitelisted and have privileges to when the minting will come. So there are also some other big things in development that I'm not ready to share yet because some of it is going to be surprised, but I'm very, very excited about this.
Can you just whisper it in my ear?
Yes, but only after the podcast.
Okay.
So what's the account that's going to be minting these?
Nesting dolls.
Nesting dolls. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know if it was Matreshka since Matreshka meant nesting dolls. Can we just start calling you nesting doll then?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, so I have a question. Yesterday, I joked about there being like 5 Matreshkas because you seem to be everywhere. Is that because you're a nesting doll?
Yes.
That's what I figured. Now I get it. So there's going to be the regular series and then a generative series.
Yes.
How many are going to be in the initial hand-drawn series?
Sorry, say it again.
So is it just going to be one hand-drawn one, or are there going to be multiples?
77.
77. And then how many
Yes.
generative?
I am still deciding on that.
Okay, cool. And you're going to be using DeSo Sphere to do the minting with Smart Alec?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool idea because it's going to add value to the hand-drawn ones because they take more time. And then so people can buy these and look forward to the generative series that would probably add value to this first hand-drawn series. So I like the way you're going about it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, so I'm doing that. And then there are a couple of other voices, a couple of other news. The DeSo Voices is doing a voice chat tomorrow, Tuesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be in DeSo Foundation Discord in the voice channel there. So everybody's welcome to come in and be there. Looking forward to seeing you there. And then the last thing that I wanted to share is that Brutal has just dropped an Instagram version of DeSoverse, which is called Gem Story. If you go on DeSo to Gem Story, you can find it on gemstory.com. So go ahead and start experiencing Instagram way of DeSoing or having visual experience on DeSo.
Brutal. You're brutal here. It's like, come on, you couldn't be any more creative with the name.
Well, it very honestly depicts how he is. So, it's very, very accurate.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
the name could be
launching a
more
new
original.
I'm going to launch a new company. It's called Google Facebook, and it's a social media platform that you can search in. What do you
Well,
think?
maybe you can collaborate with Brutal, who is building the search engine as
Gem
well.
story Google
And then
Facebook.
you'll
It can be like,
Google Facebook Brutal Brian.
sounds good.
Brutal is like the guy you don't want to be on the bad side of, but you don't want to be associated with either.
Well, as a person who is kind of associated with him from time to time, I know that's true, and a lot of people don't like the rude side of him and call him misogynistic.
I
DeSo.
kind of like the rude side. It's kind of challenging.
It is challenging, and he does do like a lot of amazing things, and I'm just showing a lot of love and acceptance to everybody, and hoping that they would start following my example and love all the people around them, and do that.
That's
Like
great. That's
I
great.
feel like if a meme was a person, it would be Brutal.
That's an interesting idea, but yeah, I can definitely see that.
So 10 a.m. Eastern time in the DeSo Foundation Discord, the DeSo Voices, you're gonna basically be talking about what you guys are doing. Anything else?
Yes, no, and the proposal that we will work on for Fast Friday, since that came up.
Sounds good. I think that's great that you guys are having that opportunity to talk in the Discord. You know, I think something the community needs. That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and
And
I think that's all we have. Wait, did you have something you say before we close
no,
out?
I was gonna say that talking seems to be the best way to communicate, because when we're doing text chats, there are sometimes miscommunication just because
Right.
you don't hear the intonation and all of that.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But yeah, thanks again. Remember to subscribe to these videos. Comments are now open on YouTube as well. Just hover over that little icon on the bottom right of the video, and then you subscribe. And thanks again, Matreshka. It surprises me this is the first time you've been on the show. I think you'll have to become a semi-regular. And
I would love to.
if it's not this one, maybe it could be the other one of you, since there's 5 of you.
The smaller one inside of me, yes.
Yeah, once you unnest.
We'll make it work.
You'd have you hold a
Nest.
magnifying glass up to you though as you're recording them.
Yeah, like you're gonna be really small, we unnest you, right? All right, maybe next show we can unnest Matreshka. All right, well, thanks again. It was great having you on, and we will talk to everyone tomorrow.